Hi, my name is Kageni, and I wanted to share with you 3 reasons why you need a Black woman coach. I once asked this question to a client of mine. I said, "What makes it different for you to want to work with me than working with some of the other coaches?" And she said this. She was a Black woman. She said, "I'm simply tired of being so afraid of triggering my coach. Sometimes I have to talk about racial issues. Sometimes I have to talk about things that are affecting me in a way they just don't seem to understand. And I spend much more energy trying to keep the harmony, not to trigger my coach." And then at that moment, I realized if I speak to somebody who will understand exactly the issues I'm going through, it may just be easier. And she found it worked better for her. I'll share with you a bit of my story. I worked in electrical engineering. This is a male-dominated industry. I was one of the first few Africans who ended up working in a very small, tiny place in Australia called Karratha. Now, during my time working there, I experienced a lot of challenges none of my other colleagues did. And I do remember even then I did have a coach. And years later, I met with my coach, who happened to be my friend. And to this day, she's never been able to admit that I experienced some racism. Now, the problem is, it took me 5 years to heal from racial trauma that I'd actually experienced while I worked in a gas plant, when I worked in a male-dominated industry, when I worked in a place, I only experienced problems that were very specific to me. So now, when I had a client, and I swear to God, she sent me like 6 messages. She was screaming. I'll show this to you. This is what it looks like. Imagine receiving this from a client. And anyway, I'll read for you some of it. She said, "Kegeni, I'm really struggling to keep up with work and to take care of myself. Work is a lot, and I'm afraid of even admitting that and letting them know that I really need to cut back because it's starting to affect my health. And in the past, whenever I brought this up, they always say I'm either incompetent." She's like, "Again, I'm really struggling because it's really affecting my self-esteem and affecting my health. I'm having anxiety, and I'm just so tired of complaining about the same things and the frustrations of it all." Now, I had been there. That I even had to leave the workplace. I had to travel around the world, healing myself. I had to go back to Africa to live with my tribe just to reconnect with my ancestors, for me to realize, again, you are not crazy. You are not making these things up. Yes, there is a system in place that you as a Black woman cannot fit into because they're white cultural norms. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life talking about my hair with HR. One time, I went to work, not in engineering, but a different job, and I'd worn my African beads. I always wear my African ancestral beads. They're healing for me. Anyway, and I remember receiving a message from HR saying, "We're not quite sure if this goes with the standards." I'm like, what? Anyway, I sent back an email and actually sent them pictures of what I would actually look like if I was in Africa. Like, this is what my tribe looks like. So if I've just worn a necklace, I'm missing a headpiece, I'm missing big jungle, I'm missing some on my feet, okay? But anyway, this is what I said to them. I said, "Let me educate you. You may not know this, but for me, this carries energy, healing, and protection for me to be able to be in the workplace." So after that, then they were able to go like, "Oh, keep your beads." But when you are struggling in the workplace and nobody's telling you, what you're dealing with is racism, what you're dealing with is discrimination, what you're dealing with is sexism, then nobody can be able to assist you. So that is why you need a Black woman coach, because this client was able to not only deal with the issue in the workplace, but she's also able to find a workplace that was more suitable for her. So that's why you need to work with somebody who actually understands. Reason number 2, a Black woman coach knows exactly what you're going through. Exactly what you're going through. Now, I come from Africa, and what I'm trying to get at with this is that in Africa, We also have different cultural problems. You know, we have things like witchcraft and black magic. So if this is affecting your life, then on top of that, you've got racism. On top of that, maybe you've got other traumas. You may still have your childhood issues unhealed, relationships issues on top. So at the end of the day, you need somebody who'll go like, oh, you know what? They can diagnose the problem for you, and then they'll be able to help you get to the root of it so that you can help yourself. That is why, reason number 2, you need a black woman coach. Now, reason number 3, you need a sister. Sometimes you just need to speak to somebody who'll understand you. Somebody who'll say, you know what, sis, you're not crazy. You're not making this up. You have been done wrong by. Or somebody who'll just be the wind behind your sails. Somebody who'll say, you know what, I got your back. I'm here to be your strength when you do not have strength. So if this talks to you and you're a black woman, maybe you already have a coach, but you just feel you're getting nowhere. Or you just feel like, you know what, I do need some coaching. I do need some help. I'm struggling. I'm having anxiety. I'm having panic attacks or whatever it is I'm dealing with. And I'm not even quite sure what I'm dealing with. Then just drop me an emoji. Drop me an emoji down below. Let me know. At least I'm talking to somebody. Because to be honest, until the black woman heals, I don't think humanity is gonna go anywhere. And the beauty of being able to work and help black women heal is you can help everybody else heal because they've got the most problems. Just to name a few, that's it. But you also got ancestral trauma, intergenerational healing to do. You also got the daily, everyday racism to deal with. And you also have all the other problems everybody else seems to have. And on top of that, sometimes you can be objectified. You know, like I said, when you're an object, you're a thing. People don't have compassion or empathy to a thing. People are only there to use you and exploit you or look at you. Then you're labeled a threat. Then you're told you're intimidating. Now, this may be overwhelming for you, and that is good because that's what a black woman has to deal with every single day of her life. Drop an emoji below. Black woman, I am a black woman's coach. My name is Kigeni, soul coach and healer. And please, sis, allow me to help you get through what you're going through.